60 Minutes recently released the full version. Now, the full version is like an hour long. All right, so we don't have the capacity here. Maybe on a weekend or something like that, I'll go through the whole footage and we'll get back to that. Or maybe on like a Wednesday, we'll do long form in the afternoon, content on the Anton Daniels channel where we can break it down all the way through, right? But we needed to find a shorter cut that actually gave us the clips that we wanted to speak to, and so we had to go and find that. But in a general sense, 60 Minutes recently released the whole thing, the full footage of what we were complaining about back during election season, the whole thing of Kamala Harris. But here's the caveat. They didn't release it because they wanted to. They released it because they were forced to. Hold on one second, y'all. Well, let's get to it. Let's just play the clip and let's get to it.
We got our hands on the raw footage of Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview. Last October, in the heat of the election, Harris, Hail Mary with CBS. But the network was caught deceptively editing this answer. Watch.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening. The Wall Street Journal said that that your administration has repeatedly been blindsided by Netanyahu. And in fact, he has rebuffed just about all of your administration's entreaties.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region. And we're not going to stop doing that. We are not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
So basically, the complaint was that for whatever reason, right, these news organizations, these platforms, all of these places, they basically were giving Kamala Harris an alley-oop. They were trying to get the interview so that they can get visibility for whatever their platform was, whether you was a 60 Minutes legacy media platform or you were a podcaster. You were basically willing to sell your soul just to get a presidential candidate on your platform. So many platforms did it. 60 Minutes was one of the most egregious because they edited to make it seem like they editors was in the room sweating bullets. For whatever reason, they edited to make it seem like that she was a competent speaker and she knew what she was talking about against these issues that she was, like, for example, Gaza and Netanyahu and immigration and all of these different things. In reality, she was a bumbling idiot. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe they agreed to it prior to, having it. Maybe in order to get the interview, her people basically said, well, we want to see the final edit of it. And so if you don't do it this way or whatever, I have no clue whatsoever. Okay. But for whatever reason, 60 Minutes, who were supposed to be an organization that was above board, basically finessed. And so that was the footage that was aired, and then that was the raw footage. And have you noticed, I don't know if y'all had noticed, and I pointed this out during election season, that almost all of Kamala Harris's interviews were less than 30 minutes long. They were trash. They were absolute garbage. Trump was pulling up to places like Joe Rogan and doing 3-hour interviews. J.D. Vance, same thing. We ain't even really see from Tim Walz. Nobody wanted to talk to him at all. And so Kamala Harris's interviews were heavily edited. The questions were all the same across all the platforms. The answers were the same, and they were short. They kept it super short. Let's continue.
Sued CBS for $10 billion, and it looks like they might settle. But before that happens, the FCC released the full interview, unedited.
Let me go back a little bit for a second. Let me see something.
Stop doing that. we're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Trump sued CBS for $10 billion and
Trump is getting Trump is not messing around. He want everything to come out into the open. He want to see what was going on. And all of these places, CNN, all of these places, MSNBC, they all been settling. And before they did that, the FCC is requiring them to release the full footage.
it looked full interview, unedited, and we have the tape. They talked for an hour and left a lot out. Here's an answer that never made air. Watch.
I'm trying to understand how it is that with this emphasis on the border, the numbers of crossings quadrupled under the first 3 years of the Biden-Harris administration. How did that happen?
There are a variety of factors that relate to what we have seen globally and what we are not immune from at our own border in terms of what we have seen in terms of surge of immigration and irregular migration. And there are solutions at hand, but we've got to have leaders who are solution-oriented, which we've been and are.
When you look back at this interview and her talking about the incompetence or the fact that they were solutions oriented and they were taking care of business and all of this other type of stuff, and that they was being hard on immigration, but we needed Congress to act and do some things and all of this stuff. Yet we see Trump getting people up out of here so fast in the last 2.5 weeks. We see people protesting because Trump is getting people up out of here. We see Trump signing executive orders and Tom Homan is out there running amok. ICE is up. Listen, they say the military, ICE, border protection, all of these agencies, their recruitment levels are through the roof immediately because the people actually support the things that Trump is doing in office. When you see her say this versus what we see happening over the last 2.5 weeks, it has to make you laugh. It has to make you laugh. There's no way that she can justify, or the Biden administration could justify, what we've seen over the last 4 years. It's crazy. Oh my God, we needed bipartisan legislation in order to get more funding to the border. Trump said, man, send the troops down there, get ICE out there to get everybody deported. Let's get Tom Homan back in. He served the last 7 administrations. We need to make sure that we get these people out of here. We need to make sure that we make America great again, that we have people coming in legally, that we don't have illegal migrants taken away from it. We're going to sue the sanctuary cities. We're going to throw this person in jail. If the New Jersey governor got a migrant that's in his garage, we're going to prosecute him. All of a sudden, in 2 weeks, everything is rolling, just rolling. You ain't need Congress. We ain't need no extra funding yet. We ain't had to do none of that. We just getting people up out of here. We sending them out of here on cargo military planes. Colombia taking 8 people back. Venezuela taking 8 people back. Mexico taking 8 people back. Everybody is on board in less than 2 weeks, but they couldn't get it together in 4 years. Okay.
CBS also cut out their host pressing Kamala on how she's going to pay for all of her giveaways.
If all of this makes so much sense, why has this not been done? You're dealing with a Congress that is divided, that many are in opposition to not only you but your policies. So how are you going to make this come true?
Bill, if I approached my life as though, well, it's never been done before, therefore it cannot be done, I wouldn't be sitting here in this interview with you. That's the truth.
Then 60 Minutes tossed Kamala a big fat softball, and she swung and missed.
The most basic of questions. Why do you want to be President of the United States?
There are many reasons, but probably first and foremost, I truly believe in the promise of America. I do. And I love the American people. You know, we are a people who have ambition and aspirations and dreams.
Now, we've heard that answer at least 76 times, minimum. We've heard that answer at least 76 times minimum. Anybody that followed the election know about the aspiration, dreams, and hopes of the American people. But how is that relevant to you wanting to be the president of the United States of America? I know her people was in the background like, yeah, we're going to have to get that removed. Yeah, we're going to have to get that edited. Yeah, we're going to have to get that. Do y'all realize that this is the person that wanted to be, that y'all tried to vote into office to be president of the United States of America? If we didn't dodge a bullet, I don't know. I don't know how much more right we could be as far as picking the right person to be president of the United States of America. This was the easiest selection in my lifetime. There has never been a more easy selection for who you should pick to be president of the United States of America across the board. You couldn't screw this one up. It's almost like they gave you a multiple choice answer and they gave you the answer and told you you can use your notes and you still got it. A lot of y'all liberals, you still got it wrong. You still got it wrong. America got it right. We dragged y'all through it. You still got the answer wrong. This is the reason why teachers had to grade on a curve. It wasn't that the information wasn't there. It was that you was just determined to go against the grain and you didn't believe that you had the right answer. It was right there in front of your face and you certainly tried to throw this whole country into the deepest, darkest recession. This was going to be the fall of Rome. The Roman Empire was going to go away as soon as she became president of the United States of America. It could not have been any easier. Of course, Anak, it was an open book test. And you didn't bring no notes. You never took notes. We gave you the answer. The teacher also said, not only is it open book, y'all can help each other. Y'all can copy off of each other's paper. And you still decided to do your own thing and said, I'm going to go with answer D. The teacher put the Scantron. I don't know if y'all remember Scantrons. We used to have Scantrons when I was in school. And it was basically like, filling out a Keno or something like that, right? You selected D on the Scantron and there was no D. It was an A, B, C question. You put D on the Scantron. There was no D as a question on the test. This is literally what y'all would have did. And it was so easy. And this is why I almost lost hope for the American people. The teacher said y'all can help each other in class. Y'all can copy off of each other's paper. You know what? Do what you need to do. I'm going to turn my back. I'm going to walk out the door and I'll be back in 15 minutes flat. Y'all let me know what y'all got going on. And you still did. You selected D. You picked D.
And optimism and hope.
That's why you want to run. That's why you want to be
That's why I'm
president.
running. That and some other reasons.
But you're asking the American people to make you the most powerful person on the planet. Mm-hmm. Why do you deserve the American people's votes?
He had to reframe the question again.
Well, first of all, I have a career and a history of being very clear that I think of my role of leadership, and in particular now for the last 4 years as vice president and moving forward as president, if the voters will have me, as being a leader on behalf of all Americans.
What? What the hell are we watching right now? Yo, listen. Honestly, if I have the capacity this weekend, if I'm not doing some podcast or something like that, or I'm not laid up on the beach here in Miami, I will definitely do a long form review of this interview to go back in time to make sure that we understand exactly the type of bullets that we dodged. It's incredible. It's incredible. For everybody, for the 92, what is it, the 93 percenters? That's what y'all call yourself. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. Y'all know that that's what black women calling themselves nowadays, right? Y'all know that's what black women are calling themselves, right? They're calling themselves the 92, 93 percenters. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. That basically means that is the percentage of them that voted for Kamala Harris. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Never vote again. You should be banned from voting. You should be removed from the voter booth. I'm not sure if y'all deserve driver's license at this point. I'm not sure if we're safe on the roads with you guys. Alon, that means that is when they identify themselves as the percentage of women that overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris. I'm a 92, 93 percenter. I think we need to drug test y'all. Honest to God. I believe that we need to drug test not only do we need to drug test the 92, 93 percenters to figure out whether or not they're even safe to be on the roads, we also need to drug test the 78% of black men. The 78% of black men that followed black women to the polls and was shamed into voting for Kamala Harris. We need to drug test these guys. We need to drug test these guys. We do. We need to drug test them to figure out what in heaven's name were y'all thinking.